All right, good morning. Morning, everyone. We are live back here on the Radio Road down here in New Orleans, Louisiana, day number 6. I have a very special guest with me today. She is actually on the road traveling to her next competition, but she is a senior All American gymnast from the University of Mizzou. So, for those of you all who follow Mizzou, I'm going to do this one time, but you know I don't do it. But MIZ.
ZOU. Let's
We are
go.
we are joined by the great Amari Celestine. And Amari, look, first and foremost, how did you get your start in gymnastics? Because I was seeing some video from you, from your, I believe your first all around performance, and I got to say, you're a bad one. So tell me how you got your start in
Thank you.
gymnastics.
I started when I was a year and a half. Yes, in California, my mom actually put me in the sport because she said that it just looked like I was going to hurt myself at home doing all these flips and tricks on kitchen islands and everything like that. So she wanted to get me in a controlled environment so I could do it safely. And I ended up at Sega Gymnastics in California.
So what's interesting is that I have a niece that does that same thing. I guess my first question would be, how young was it when you started, and if possible, is there a certain age that you would advise parents or grandparents to get someone involved who might be interested in doing something like that?
I honestly wouldn't say there is a specific age. It really just takes dedication, good work environment. Honestly, as long as coaches believe in you and you have your child in the right program, you can do anything. Anything is accomplishable.
Okay, now you've been at Mizzou now. This is your senior year there. How has being there benefited you as a person and as a student?
They've honestly allowed me to just be my true self and just be unapologetically me, and I really appreciated that. I joined a sorority. I'm involved in a whole bunch of other extracurricular activities outside of gymnastics. So gymnastics isn't just my whole center of everything I've got going on. My coaches and just other supporting staff have allowed me to find myself and my voice while I've been here. So I've been really appreciative.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm not just going to just overlook all that. So, what does being unapologetically you mean? And what sorority you're part of now? You gotta give a shout out. I can't. I'm not. No, this ain't a regular interview. I'm not. I'm not gonna let you just throw it. Just bypass it like it ain't nothing.
Yes, so I am a proud member of Sigma Gamma Sorority Incorporated. So shout out to my good sorors, E to the good ones. I
Okay.
am also NPHC president, or I was this past November was my last term. So we've moved on from that, which is really great experience. Honestly, it took up a lot of my time, but I'm very appreciative that I was able to work with the people I was able to work with. Being unapologetically me is not being afraid to just let my creativity run. I let my creativity run. I let my words run. I can just walk around and not have to be fearful over people judging however I act or however I speak or however I decide to, move as a person.
We're going to talk a little bit more about this about a couple of speaking engagement for Dr. King's Black History Month celebration at the state capitol later on this month. But yeah, I'm curious, being that you're in the midst of your college career, in the midst of NIL, for someone who didn't get a chance to experience NIL, has there been both good and bad with with you being involved with the NIL or receiving NIL?
I honestly wouldn't say I've experienced a lot of bad. I would say that
Okay.
it's a great opportunity. I mean, like you said, as new athletes, we're able to experience this, so it's
Facts.
great. It's a blessing.
I'm big jealous, but go ahead.
I know my pop said the same thing. He played pro ball at the Cardinals, so he's feeling it right now too. But he I'd say I've experienced a lot of good. It's also allowed me to kind of express myself. So I've started to design leotards and partner with companies like that. I can partner with hair care companies or companies that are closer to my heart. Like I love to cook, so I can partner with cooking companies or just cooking brands in general. So it's also another outlet for us as athletes to be able to express ourselves.
Now, again, you've been real successful. Obviously, you were a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, and so tell me about what you initially specialized in, and then how you ended up moving to the all around for gymnastics.
Of course. So my coaches actually told me I was a vault floor kid. I needed one more event to be a scholarship kid because all scholarship kids are 3 event kids plus kids is what the training atmosphere of my club gym was. So I wasn't really told I was going to be an all-arounder. But then when I got to MIZ-ZOU, my coaches here were like, "You're talented on all apparatuses." They say that about everybody. They try to instill belief in everybody's abilities. If I say I want something, they push me to my best capabilities to achieve that something that I say that I want. So I got here, I got in my bar lineup, but then unfortunately I rested last year for a shoulder injury and then decided, I want to participate and contribute as much as I can to my team. So I ended up busting my butt to get in the beam lineup with my new beam coach, Lacey. And then this year, did a lot of rehab. Shout out to my trainer, Riley. She got me right this year, and I was able to work away from the shoulder injury and add bars back into my repertoire.
We're joined by Amari Celestine. She is a senior All-American gymnast for the University of Missouri. Amari, we'll get back to the college portion, but growing up, or maybe even just recently, who would you say is someone in the gymnastics world that you've admired, that you look up to, that that you might have, um, you know, put some, I don't say put on the pedestal, but just someone that you look up to, that you try to emulate when you're out there or when you started.
Of course, I would say Trinity Thomas. Honestly, growing up, there weren't a whole lot of Black women in the sport of gymnastics, or just a lot of representation for the sport of gymnastics in general. So I would say Trinity Thomas is a person that I've grown very fond of. She's a great athlete, but also a great person. I'm a big people person, so you have a great character and you're great at what you do. I have no reason to hate on you. Trinity Thomas has been a really big inspiration for me since I've gotten into collegiate gymnastics.
Now going back, of course, 2 years. Now I got to ask this because now this past Olympics, we know Simone Biles is widely considered the GOAT. Was you getting up early in the morning watching these Olympics? Because I had people calling me like, Darren, wake up. I'm like, you do realize it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I got to sleep. But was you up early watching these Olympics? And,
I was
and,
not
and were there things that you were like maybe taken away from what you saw?
I was not actually. Funny thing about me is I don't watch a whole lot of gymnastics outside the
Oh,
gymnastics that I do.
okay,
I
okay.
find, yes, sometimes it gets a little stressful. I don't like looking at a whole bunch of outside hocus pocus of what's going on. I just try to stay really focused on my mission and what I got going on over here.
So now, when you came to MU, I mean, you started out with great success. You were a freshman All American, even when you started. What has been like some of the support that you've gotten from your teammates in your success, and just really how do you and your teammates kind of blend together as a collective unit?
Of course. So we're 22 people, 22 different personalities. We had to learn each other. We build a team around our culture, basically. So making sure that if I'm having a not great day, I'm communicating that. Hey, you guys, today's a little bit of an off day, but I'm telling y'all so y'all can hold me accountable for my actions, accountable for what I say, what I want to accomplish, and just accountable so you uplift me a little bit because at the end of the day, I'm a part of a team, so I can't do this by myself. I need a little help. So we ask for a little help, we communicate a little bit. I would say we also focus on us as people. Again, we're a team centered around culture, so they make sure I'm great as a person before they make sure I'm great as an athlete as well.
As you mentioned before, it wasn't really a lot of black gymnasts, male and female coming up. Again, some of the video highlights I've seen I mean, you perform with a lot of flair, especially the all around and the music and stuff like that. Where does that sense of style comes from? I mean, I know just in general that's how we're like considered. But where do you get your personality from?
I would tell you I get my personality from my mama. We are the same person. We are the same person. We look the same. We act the same. But my brother actually choreographs my floor routine, so that's where a lot of
Oh, that's
that
what's up.
personality comes from.
Nice, nice. And so, what I guess from your time there at MU, what would you say was your toughest competition or your toughest meet to get through?
Okay, my toughest meet to get through was SEC's last year in New Orleans. I had had a passing in my family, and the funeral was that weekend. Actually, it was the day before, and I wasn't able to go to the funeral. I was training with my team, so that was another instance where my team had to have my back because Lord knew I couldn't do it by myself. I was a mess the whole weekend. But all my family came to the meet in New Orleans because I have a lot of family in Louisiana, and they surrounded me by love.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have to do the meet by myself. I didn't have to be there and cry by myself. A lot of people uplifted me through that whole entire weekend, but I really just had to trust my family, my team, trust God throughout that whole competition. I was not able to do that day by myself, but that was the hardest meet I've had to complete.
Okay, now let's say your greatest satisfaction since you've been in college when it comes to gymnastics.
Of course, I would say either last weekend's meet at LSU with my all around PR or regionals my freshman year on day two. I was the last routine to go up. I needed a score to get to nationals, and I'd had a weird weekend with a pass, so I needed to make sure that I was on my A game. But did the floor routine, and we ended up going. So either that meet or my all around PR last weekend at LSU with my family there.
Well, I do like that you mentioned about your first because that helped the team as a whole get there. So that takes that takes a lot for an individual to, like you said, think about someone other than yourself and being team oriented. Now, speaking about Louisiana, New Orleans, and your family and stuff, there's a certain game that's taking place this weekend down there. It's called the Super Bowl. Now, we
Mm.
talked a little bit. We talked a little bit before we came on here, but I want to get your thoughts. We got the Chiefs and we got the Eagles in a rematch that was
Yes.
just played 2 years ago. I would love to know who you got winning this game and why.
I've got the Chiefs winning this game. They're consistent. They are consistent. I don't see it planning out, turning out any other way. If so, we're gonna have a very upset state.
Now, out of abundance, because you're good, I'm not going to say what you said when we come on the air. But that's a shout out to you, Marcel. Before we
Thank
get
you.
you out of here, later on this month, on February 26th, you're going to be speaking at the state capitol
Yes.
for Black History Month and Dr. King holiday. Give us a little bit more as to how you were selected and what your message plans are being.
Absolutely. I was selected from Cheryl. I want to pronounce her last name correctly, and we've only spoken
Cheryl
over
Dozier. Cheryl Dozier.
Dozier. Dozier, yes, Miss Cheryl Dozier, and the rest of the Missouri Black Legislative Caucus. I was selected by them. They reached out to my university. Then the university reached out to my athletic department. Athletic department came to me. She saw me from a gymnastics video. Actually, I think the video that you saw, the same
Yeah,
one.
you just walking down there and then just play. You was doing the thing. You was doing it.
Thank you. Yes, and which our videographer, shout out to her, great. Katie did a great job on that, so I'm very happy. Got me a lot of traction with that, and basically my speech is just inspirational. I want my speech to strike inspiration to the hearts of others. I love speaking. I love being able to speak life into people because people speak life into me. So I like being able to reciprocate that same energy. So the whole purpose of my speech for the Martin Luther King celebration and the Black History Month celebration is just being able to tell my story as a young black woman, black educated woman in the state of Missouri coming from California.
Man, shout out to you. Look, and congrats on all your success and continued success.
Thank you.
Now, you all are headed to the University of Illinois for gymnastics. So, what are you
Yes, we
competing
are.
in today?
We will find out. We will keep you posted.
Okay, okay, okay. Where can people follow you out on social media? And is there anyone, including your mama, because my mom was chatting right now, so I got to say hi, mama. So, but is there
Of
anyone that you want to give a
course.
shout out to, and let people know if you would be so kind where they can follow you out on social media on your journey?
Of course. Well, shout out to the Hastings fam. I love you guys so much. I wouldn't be here without you guys. And my Instagram handle and like all of my social media handles are just my first and last name, Amari underscore Celestine with a C.
I didn't see that on Twitter. I saw Mari Celestine. Uh, at least is what they have connected to
On
your
Twitter, it
account.
might be different, honestly.
Okay, okay, yeah, okay.
It
So I
might be
want
different.
yeah, it's Amari Celestine, no underscore there. So
There we go.
that's where
Thank you.
yeah. See, I'm looking out for you. My mom says you're awesome
Thank you. I
too, by the way.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Mari Celestine. Best of luck to you today. We were joined today by Mari Celestine. She is the senior All American gymnast for the University of Missouri. Make sure you follow her at Amari underscore Celestine on Instagram and at Amari Celestine on Twitter. Thank you so much, and best of luck to you and the team.
Thank you so much for having me on. Have a great
And you
day.
do the same. We'll be back after this time out.